Hi, good afternoon. My name is Fabiola Diaz Gonzalez, and I am from Team 7. Today, my ethical issue is about pulling the plug. Every day in the hospital, there's another victim that is in a vegetable state or in a coma. This means that the patient still has brain function, but they cannot wake up. These patients have a lot of machines that help them survive. They're on life support. It helps them breathe, it helps them with their brain function, monitors that can help nurses to know in what conditions they are, and doctors as well. These people are in a state where they cannot have a voice whether to live or die. Mostly people would like to live, but there are others who wish to die. But for the same reason that they're in a coma, they cannot say anything, which means pulling the plug is on the table. Pulling the plug is an urban way of saying that the patient's family and the doctors can decide whether or not they could live or die. It means that based on their ethical reasoning and their way of thinking, that the patient could still live for a couple of days, weeks, months, or years in that same state, or in a miracle matter, if they could wake up and have a normal life, or to just stop the machines from working and let the patient rest in peace. This is an ethical issue because doctors are not the patient. They cannot decide for the patient whether to live or die because they have no idea what they're thinking. The patient's family members, on the other hand, may have another step further than the doctor because they know the patient, but still they can't speak for the patient because, for the same reason, they're not the patient. They're not in their shoes. This is an ethical issue because it's a moral debate. Would you take somebody's life, or would you let them stay in a hospital bed where somebody else that is injured can stay? This is a topic I'd like to share because, in my opinion, it's very complicated to decide. On one hand, pulling the plug can be good because the patient is not suffering, is not intubated, doesn't have tubes in his system, and they could just rest in peace. But on the other hand, it's not ethical because nobody but God, in my opinion, can take somebody's life away. So this is an ethical issue for everybody in this world, and most people would know whether or not to decide. I think it's best not to.